Hello, everyone. Welcome to the All Day Football Show. I'm your host, as always, Jackson Kellogg, and today I've got you NFL Week 13 power rankings, game picks, and analysis. Jumping right into it, these were our power rankings from last week. We had the Cardinals taking the top spot. They had a bye, so they're going to stay there. And we didn't have a ton of movement after games this past week. Cardinals stayed number 1. Buccaneers stayed number 2 after a close game with the Colts. Packers move up a spot after beating the Rams. Patriots move up after beating the Titans. The Titans drop all the way out of the top 10 after being number 3. It's a very large drop, but it's because this team is very badly injured, and it's not looking too good for them going forward, as a lot of their guys that are hurt aren't coming back anytime soon. So, and the team that played against the Patriots is the team that's going to be getting put out for the next couple of weeks. Got the Bills moving up after a win on Thanksgiving over the Saints. Chiefs move up, they had a bye, but they just move up because of other matchups. The Ravens move up 3 spots after a close win over the Browns. A lot of turnovers, but they move up more just because of the teams that were in front of them losing, including the Rams and Cowboys that dropped down to 9-10. After the Rams, they lost to the Packers, and then the Cowboys lost on Thanksgiving to the Raiders. New team in the top 10 this week, we have the Cincinnati Bengals coming in after a blowout victory over the Steelers. The Bengals are very quickly moving themselves into the playoff picture of the AFC. I actually think they have a shot of overtaking the Chargers as a possible wildcard team. The Chargers have been inconsistent recently, and it's not helping their case, and we'll actually get a good look at that in this week's matchup with the Chargers at the Bengals. Speaking of that, we have our game picks for the week. Last week did not do very well. Thanksgiving did not help at all. Going 8-7, putting the overall total on the year of 107-70 and 1. They just had to have a tie. Bengals, I have winning at home against the Chargers. I think that's one of the best matchups to look at this week, other than the Patriots-Bills matchup on Monday Night Football, who I have the Patriots winning on the road. I didn't for the longest time, but looking at a bunch of stuff, I do think the Patriots can take the win, and get into that in a bit. Have the Colts and Ravens winning on the road against the Texans and the Steelers. Chiefs winning at home against the Broncos, coming off a bye. Moving into the NFC matchups, we've got all the bye teams winning. The Cowboys and the Saints are going to play on Thursday Night Football. The Saints, Taysom Hill will be starting, most likely, so we'll see how that goes. But Mike McCarthy is out for the game with COVID, so wonder what effect that will have. Cardinals will going to win on the road against the Bears. Bucks on the road against the Falcons. Vikings on the road against the Lions. And the 49ers on the road against the Seahawks. And then moving into AFC Nfc matchups, we've got the Dolphins winning at home against the Giants. The Dolphins have the second largest win streak other than the Patriots going right now. So they're on the hot come up. I doubt they come in and sneak a playoff spot, but they can play spoiler for a lot of teams. Got the Eagles winning on the road against the Jets. Raiders and Rams winning at home against Washington and Jacksonville. Teams on bye this week include the Browns, Packers, Panthers, and Titans. This is the second to last week of byes. Next week will be the last week where teams like the Patriots, Colts, Eagles, and one other team, I forget who, all have byes. And then the Patriots dominated the Titans last week. It was not in a good-looking dominant way. There were a lot of issues that were brought to light by the Titans, especially a little concerning being that it's an injury-riddled Titans, but the score was very different than what people expected. The Patriots win 36-13 as the final score, I believe. And Kendrick Bourne, I loved this play live. It was such a beautiful catch. Bourne had 2 great touchdown plays on the Titans. The one big play the Titans had was the long 60-something yard touchdown run by Dontre Hilliard, but the run for the Titans got put out huge I think mainly because the Patriots weren't prepared for, practice squad running backs. There's one thing that a lot of people make an argument for that I disagree with is the idea that, oh, that's like their fifth, sixth string guys. These guys are all pros. They're all the top 0.001% of players that are in the NFL for a reason. And though I do think there is a talent drop off, I don't think it's as big as people think there is. There are obviously guys who are better, but if they weren't good, then they wouldn't be on NFL rosters. So there were two big runs. One went for a touchdown. The other actually got stripped while he was running and recovered. So the Patriots won this game by winning the turnover battle and playing good offensive football, at least passing. The run game, which I said was going to be a key, was a pretty much a non-factor. Ramondre Stevenson, Damian Harris couldn't get it going until later in the game, but the passing offense helped shed those problems down. Mac Jones had over 300 yards on the day, helping the Patriots lead a victory here. Now, Patriots play on Monday Night Football this week against the Bills. This is the division title round 1 of 2. This time around, the Patriots are on the road, going to Buffalo. The players have talked about it. Buffalo is a very talented team. They've been inconsistent of late, though. They lost to Jacksonville a couple weeks ago with that offense not playing very well, and then they go play the Saints, and the offense, decides to show up. So it's going to be a matter of what offense is going to be showing up. The defense is one of the best in the league. They're up there with the Pats in terms of how good they play. So it's going to come down to which offense is going to be able to move past the opposing team's star-studded defense better, and that means winning the turnover battle. This Patriots defense and the Bills defense are both known for their turnovers. J.C. Jackson, ball hawk, I think he's second in the league right now in interceptions. Matt Judon, third in the league in sacks, I believe. And then you've got, on the defensive side for the Bills, Tre'Davious White is out for the rest of the season towards ACL last week. Never wish an injury upon someone, but that does help the Patriots this week as, the Bills, other than Tre'Davious White, don't have a ton of great corners. Their safeties are where it's at with Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. Both are vying for All-Pro and Pro Bowl selections this year, playing that at that high of a level. Winning the turnover battle is going to be a key. Mac Jones, knock on wood, has been pretty consistent in not being a turnover-prone rookie, and hopefully that can continue. The big matchup that I can't wait to see is J.C. Jackson versus Stefan Diggs. J.C. Jackson has always been a ball hawk since he's been here, but his coverage skills were always a question mark, and that's why people were curious what would happen when Stephon Gilmore was traded. But J.C. Jackson has stepped it up big this year. Not only is he still being the ball hawk corner that he is, he's been great in coverage, and no receiver has really done a number on him that bad this year. The receiver across his career that has seemed to have his number is Stefan Diggs. Stefan Diggs in 2 games last year was very dominant against J.C. Jackson. So what's going to happen this year is J.C. Jackson going to be able to come up with the plays this time, or is Stefan Diggs still going to get the better of him? I'm excited to watch that matchup. Though it is tough because I have Josh Allen in fantasy. But, Patriots wins over fantasy. That's how I go. But I do think the Patriots have a chance to win this game, and I have them winning 27-24. I think the Patriots kick a game-winning field goal to win it. Just hopefully there's not a run down the sideline by the quarterback where it gets punched out of his arm and an opportunity where they could have won the game, Not to mention any names. Damn. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your weekend. And let's hope for the Pats to win against the Bills on Monday. Let's go, Pats.